Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Arden, filming outside a new location. I thought it was cute, but it's an experiment, so I hope the angle and framing is good and everything. May or may not be filming in an alley, so this is like a bit of a risk. I have been feeling some type of way recently. I might call this phase of my life my philosopher phase. Oh my god, there's a car coming through. But anyways, the things we do for the art. I'm in my philosopher type of phase. You could call me a modern day Plato. I'm just kidding. But seriously, I've just been looking at the state of the world recently, and I feel like if I'm not using my platform to inspire people to do better and be good people and be more thoughtful of the impact that we all have, spread positivity, then like what am I doing? So anyways, I have compiled a list of ideas of how to get humanity back. I feel like, I don't know, there's been some signs that I feel like humanity has been regressing, and one of them is if you go to a store and people are not folding the clothes and putting them back on the shelves. I know that, or hanging them up. I know that might be weird, silly, out of context example, but I feel like it's just kind of one of those things where caring about your actions on other people, even if it seems small, even if you think somebody else will take care of it because it's their job, just because it technically is somebody else's job doesn't mean you can't go the extra mile. That's kind of what this video is about. It's just because we live in a modern society does not mean we have to let ourselves go. We still have to remember the little things. I was watching this video. I'll have to link this guy's profile, but he talks about how modern spaces kind of go against our natural instincts, and he kind of talks about like cities and how cities make it easy for us to kind of self-isolate. He was basically talking about acknowledging other people, like when you pass somebody by, instead of just like ignoring them, give them a nod, or you know, don't be afraid of eye contact. I feel like we've lost the art of eye contact and acknowledging strangers when we pass them by. But as the world changes, as a society, you know, we tend to value things being faster and better. I mean, I don't know if faster is always better, but that's the messaging that we're being told. We have to not lose sight of like the little things that make us who we are and connect us. And so the first thing I want to mention is connect with your local community. This is a lesson that I kind of learned in college. I feel like I didn't understand the importance of community until I was older, and also until I was put in environments and situations where I was kind of all by myself. So it's not the easiest thing in the world to move to another country by yourself. Knew some people, but was mainly like starting fresh, making connections, because I knew some people, but like families and stuff, and I was on a college campus, so basically like it was as if I didn't know people there. I start over, and that can be scary and intimidating for a lot of people, but instead of putting pressure on myself to make friends, I just told myself, just put yourself out there in community, and you would be surprised. Like, you go to one event by yourself and someone's like, oh, you seem cool and nice, and then they're like, hey, you should come to this other event with me and my friend, and then you enjoy hanging out with them and going to that event, and then boom, you have people to go out and do things with. Like, maybe your hobby is skateboarding and you go to a skateboarding social thing and you realize like, oh hey, I love doing skateboarding with these friends, so maybe they'll want to go to another skateboarding event or another event or something else that's totally different. But the point is, remember, you're not alone. Wherever you are challenged, you are equally supported. And don't ever feel weird for like going to an event by yourself or wanting to make friends or meet new people, we're all trying to figure that out. Even if you have your community and you have your friends, like life changes all the time, and there's nothing embarrassing about seeking out community, and that was something that saved me when I lived abroad. And if you have a personality like me, some people are like, I found my group, I'm great, this is like where I want to spend all my time. If that's you, more power to you. If you're like me, I'm like a floater. I like to be in lots of different kinds of groups, which is cool because you meet lots of different kinds of people. So, you know, I have my theater friends, and you know, we like to go and see shows or do karaoke, or like be in plays together. And then like I have my friends that are into music, and we have like album listening parties, and we find fun bars and restaurants. And I guess what I'm trying to say is we need to bring back emphasizing community. Listen, I feel like everybody struggles with social anxiety. This is not me saying that you need to have like a certain type of friends. I will wait for the gate to close. This is not me saying anyone needs to have like a certain type of friend or friend group to feel like they fit in, because that's when you start putting like weird pressure on yourself. This is me saying everybody needs social connection. Seeking out community is nothing to be embarrassed about. It should be a priority for everyone. And by being a part of community, you should also be contributing, right? So, you know, maybe one day you're the new person at the dinner club socials that you go to. Like, let's say you and your new group like to have dinners at somebody's house. Maybe you're the new person and you're shy, and then somebody else who's been there a lot is like wanting to invite you to other things. But the gates again. There's a saying that if you want to be part of a village, you have to be a villager. So maybe because you're shy and you're just kind of being passive and not like going out of your way to make people feel included the first time you go, maybe after a couple times you feel more comfortable there and you know some people and suddenly you're not new anymore, then you can be the person that's like making others feel included and inviting them to things. I'm saying all this to be a villager because it's really important to be the person that reaches out to people, and it's important to be the person that reaches out to people and puts themselves out there by showing up to things and not waiting for stuff to happen. Sometimes just for fun, I think it's cool to just like host stuff, because like, why not? Sometimes it's a lot of work and like I can't be bothered. Also, I need to rip this off. It is bothering me like no other. On that same note, just don't be afraid to be the first. Don't be afraid to be the first person to reach out. Like, it's really important. It's important that people show up to events. It's important to put in effort to try. And like one of my favorite creators, Tanks, like always talks about this. Okay, so what I was saying is, one of my favorite creators, Tanks, always talks about this. Again, it goes back to if everyone wants a village but nobody wants to be a villager, like show up for people's things. If you feel like, oh, like I'm much more comfortable at home, like I don't, you know, need to go to like my friend or my mutual friend's event, fine, fair. Sometimes we all have our introverted moments. I'm like the biggest introverted extrovert. Like I love being at home. Sometimes it's fun to not go to plans, but then don't be surprised if nobody shows up to your plans because you were too comfortable being at home instead of pushing yourself a little bit after work, or I don't know your situation, to go and show up for your friend or mutual friend's important gathering. So all I'm saying is it's important to be a part of community, and I feel like we need to not lose that in this day and age. It's really important. And just like, I don't know, like even somebody that I'm not that close with, like just like a friend that I don't know that well, like I feel like reaching out and just being like, oh my gosh, like how have you been, or like it was so great to see you the other day, or your outfit on Instagram is fire, or whatever. Being the person who puts in the effort to make new connections, like it goes such a long way, and I just feel like it's not important to lose that. And I feel like sometimes we think like, oh, I'm on social media, like I know what my friend is up to, I'm liking their pictures. It's sort of like a passive way to engage and show up for the people in your life. But remember that showing up in person, well, they say 90% of life is just showing up. Like it goes such a long way, and texting, all that kind of stuff, it just does not do it. So it's just important that like we remember these things, you know? I'll give you a weird example. I did not want to go to my high school reunion. And sometimes, listen, sometimes that's justified, okay? But my mom was like, hey, you should acknowledge like where you came from. Like you should acknowledge your teachers that like shaped you at this point in your life, and that class, because it's like a special moment in time and you have that history together. And I was really in my head about it. I was really like I'm not super duper close with whoever, or I don't need to go there, but it's like, but it's not about that. It's about a shared connection, even if they're not your besties. So yeah. So talk to your neighbors. That's like another thing. It's like kids used to play outside. Now everyone's like, it's too dangerous to do that. Don't talk to your neighbors. But I've had some neighbors that have like reached out first to connect with me. I've also done that too. And it's so cool. Like there are some people that I talk to so much, and we keep up with what's going on in each other's lives, and like that wouldn't have happened if they just stayed in their comfort zone, I guess you could say. We need to go outside more and like talk to people. And sometimes like if you're new to an area, it could be a good way to get to know the area. Who knows, maybe that neighbor is like, I will watch your dog when you're out of town, or whatever it is. So just don't underestimate the small things, and don't be afraid to put in effort. And it's not for no reason, okay? I feel like it's like why we're freaking here, to get to know each other and to help each other and to do things together and not be in our own little phone world bubbles. Along those same lines, consideration matters, manners matter, calling matters, spell check matters. Oh my God. Whoa. So much to unpack here. But yeah, I mean, I feel like the example of like not folding clothes when you go into a store, it's kind of like the same thing at a restaurant. It's like maybe they can clean up your dishes for you, and every restaurant's like different, sure. Obviously, you don't always have to clean your dishes at every restaurant, but like if you can, it's like, why would you want to make this person's job harder? Like even if it's technically their job to clean up your stuff, like why would you want to make their job harder? And I just feel like, I don't know, there's either like a not paying attention, like an ignorance in my generation, or like an entitlement, or just like a, oh, I'm so busy, it's like not my problem attitude. And it's like, all of that stuff really, really matters. It's really weird. When I went to restaurants, I felt like for the most part they were not into small talk. It's just like a cultural difference. But like in America, it goes such a long way to just like, I don't know, like make a joke with your waiter, or just like ask them like a question about whatever, the menu or the area. And I don't know, I just feel like we need to stop rushing through life, stop and smell the roses, and reconnect with the things that matter. And even if it's people that you like don't have so much in common with, it's like sometimes it is important to make small talk with that person who lives in your building in the elevator, because like who else is gonna look out for like each other or like relate to each other if like something is up with the building? You know what I mean? I'm trying to say that like we need to bring back small talk and caring about the little things, okay? It's freaking important. Manners matter. I personally think it's rude if you're like at the movie theater and you're on your phone. Like to me, that's rude. But maybe that just offends me because like I'm really into the movie. But like, oh my god, if we were like on a date and you were just like on your phone during like a good amount of the movie, I would be like, absolutely not. Especially if I was like, oh my god, you need to see this movie. You know what I mean? You care about the things that your partner finds important and wants to tell you. I'm so deep today, but I feel like this is a really important message that I need to share with people because I feel like, I don't know, man. I feel like we're losing touch with things that matter. We're losing our like civility, right? Did I use that word right? I hope so. Calling people matters. Oh my god, if you're a friend and you call me, I love you so much. I am not into texting that much, and if you're a friend and you just want to like catch up and check in with me, like a phone call goes such a long way. Just something about hearing someone's voice. I mean, obviously it can't make up for catching up in person, but calling just goes such a long way over texting. I know some people are like into the voice texting thing. Listen, if that works for you, I'm not gonna say no, but what I'm trying to say is just that like calling goes such a long way, and just because it's more convenient to text or like swipe up on someone's Instagram story doesn't mean that's the best way to communicate with them. Sometimes you're really busy and sometimes that's like the best you can do. Fine. But like I have friends that live very far away and sometimes texting is great. But if we only texted, I feel a little disconnected from them. So calling matters, or maybe that's just my preference. Some people are like really into texting, but calling matters and spell check matters. I'm the grammar police now, apparently. No, but just like, I don't know. I think like working with kids, like working with like Gen Alpha and just like hearing them like make up words and like spell words wrong, it's just like, I don't know, guys. We need to stop thinking that we can just like rush our way through things and that we can be careless and reckless with our words. Your words are so powerful, especially, oh my god, on the internet. It lasts literally forever and you're just hard to take seriously. I'm not saying I've never spelled anything wrong, okay? I'm not perfect. But like, if you don't know the difference between like theirs and they are, like, I can't help you. If you're an adult, like, you need to figure that out. Okay, I wrote, do not be on your phone at a party, date, or at a friend's. Listen, I'm not saying that I've never pulled out my phone during a social situation. Like, absolutely I have. But I'm not, like, walking in there, like, on my phone, head down. I'm trying to think if I have. If I have, I must have been in, like, a bad mood. But it just sends, like, a closed-off signal. Listen, if you're trying to have a hot girl summer and go outside and meet new people and be flirty, your energy is not signaling I'm open to having fun. If you're at a party and you're on your phone, I hope you have a good reason, okay? Because if you're having that much social anxiety, just go freaking home, okay? Like, it's such a buzzkill. Like, the new trend is phone-free parties, okay? Because we want to have fun and be in the moment again. We want to have fun and be in the moment again. Okay, and if you want to take pictures, and if you want someone's phone number, get their phone number, but like, just enough with the being antisocial because you feel awkward. Everybody feels awkward, okay? That's like what makes us human and not perfect, okay? Maybe this is easy for me to say because of my personality, like I'm kind of extroverted, but just because I'm extroverted doesn't mean I don't struggle with social anxiety. And if you are more introverted, like, I challenge you to work on these things, because just because you tend to be more introverted doesn't mean you should give up on trying to reach out to other people. Obviously, it's scary. It's scary for everyone. Some of us are just like better at navigating it or dealing with it. And yeah, I mean, maybe that's just like a thing you need to work on, and maybe it just means like you're taking smaller steps. Maybe instead of like not being on your phone at all at the party, you're barely on your phone. Okay. And like also at a date and on a friend's, like, can you imagine the first time you're meeting someone, they're just like, it's different if like, I don't know, it depends, okay? It depends, okay? I can't say I've never hung out with my friends on my phone, but just like, I don't know, if you have like limited quality time with a person, I don't know, we have limited quality time on this planet. Why are we burying our heads in screens? Like, we could literally do anything. Are we that lazy? I mean, the phones are addictive. I honestly would love to throw out my smartphone and get rid of social media. I've been thinking about getting a phone that doesn't have internet for the sake of just like getting my time back and getting my focus back. And I kind of want to start a trend. Guys, do you think I can change the world and start a trend? Maybe. Maybe this is like a longer video, but I feel like there is. I'm trying to think if I want to think about this. Okay. I'm not one to give dating advice, okay? Listen, I'm just saying there's something about my generation that very much gives off a vibe of, like, if I'm not in a serious relationship with you, then like I need to act like I don't care, even if you're just casually dating somebody. Although, a lot to unpack here. I think what I'm trying to say is I feel like it's kind of a common thing in like the dating world. Like, if you're not, unless you're in a serious relationship, if you don't know somebody that well, to almost like be too cool to care or be vulnerable. But I'm here to say that it's cool to care, okay? Everybody has feelings, everybody has imperfections, and that doesn't mean that you don't look out for yourself and you don't have boundaries, but it just means like you don't have to be too cool to not say how you feel or learn how to be vulnerable with somebody. Again, look after yourself, have your boundaries. I'm just saying, like, the whole like I'm not gonna make the first move, or because we're not in a serious relationship I need to act distant and like I don't care. Like, I don't know, guys, bring back yarning. That's all I gotta say. I made a funny note. It says, if you're not hanging out with friends this summer or making new friends this summer, then what are you doing? Get off the apps and go join a group, like an event or a meetup group. It's funny that I wrote get off the apps because like meetup is like an app, but you know what I mean, like dating apps. Don't be afraid to go to events alone. I said that earlier. I think a lot of this stuff is easy for me to say because of my personality. So you're gonna have to figure out what your comfort zone is. There's like pushing yourself a good, healthy amount, and then there's pushing yourself too much, and only you know what that is for you. And I don't know, like, there's so many times where it's just like, if I waited for somebody else to say yes to go to an event with me, like, I would not have gone to all these cool events or concerts or movie premieres or whatever it is. So just like, don't wait for other people, just go. Like, the weather is literally good outside right now. Like, if you can, be outside, don't be afraid to join a meetup group. But check out the meetup group, because sometimes it's not a vibe, and that's okay. But I have 2 more things that I want to add to this. If you see something wrong, do not tolerate it. Listen, sometimes you're in a situation where you can't do anything, or if you did do something, you would be putting yourself at risk. But if you see something that's not right, try not to be passive about it unless it like could save your life. But like, I'm just thinking, like, I was at this event the other day and somebody there was calling somebody else names, but they were like nice to me, and I called them out on it in front of everyone. I was just like, hey, that's not cool, you know? And then I said something nice about the person that they insulted, because because I don't know who else was gonna stand up for that girl in that moment. And that's just like one example, but it's just like, if I just sat there passive, then I would let this girl be the butt of the joke, and I would almost be like agreeing and going along with what this person was saying, and by not saying anything, I was almost making it okay. So your presence, I hope this lands with you guys, your presence sets a precedent. Your presence sets a precedent. That came out right. Like, by what you choose to accept, you are telling the world, like, this is what's normal, this is what's okay. You know what I mean? Like, if your kid's getting bullied at school and the staff is doing nothing about it, and if you do nothing about it, you're saying, like, imagine you're the parent, you're saying that's okay. Like, that might mean that you have to go in the school and speak up about it and say that they have to be doing more to try and prevent that or something like that. And if you just sit back, you are allowing the bad things to happen. Whatever you are not changing, you are choosing. And so, like, I just hate when people, like, complain about problems in the world. Like, maybe there are some things you can't change, but especially, like, in your immediate world, in your immediate surroundings, everybody wants to, like, play it safe. Sometimes that's the best thing you can do. But if it's, like, a matter of, like, somebody's getting made fun of in a group, don't, like, play along with it. Be like, hey, actually, I think this person's pretty cool. Because your presence sets the tone for what goes and what's okay and what's normal. And, I mean, yeah, like, I'm also, like, a preschool teacher, so it's like, if I see something wrong, of course I'm gonna do something about it. Like, if a kid is, like, running and falls and cuts their knee, it's like, go over there and freaking see if they're okay. It's like, yeah, it's more annoying to deal with them crying, but, like, it's not okay that they got hurt and they need somebody to go and help them. So I just feel like there's so many times where we as a society are passive about things that we see in our immediate environment that we know are wrong, but we just feel like we would rather play it safe. And listen, sometimes that is the best option, but I think you know when, like, you could be doing something more and not just going along to get along, because that's not cool. Call a spade a spade. Call it out like it is. And then I'm quoting Michelle Obama, when they go low, we go high. I mean, I feel like that's on that same note, right? It's like, just because maybe people in your environment are being negative or not nice to you, it's like you could meet them with that same negative energy, or as they say, kill them with kindness. It's like, or you could be like the bigger person and be like, you know, to yourself, you're like, I don't like the way they're treating me, but I'm going to rise above it and turn it into a positive situation. Like, fine, they want to be rude to me and not like me, like, I'll just be nice to them, because then I show them that doesn't bother me. And yeah, I mean, listen, this stuff is not always easy. I am not perfect with that. It's hard, right? If you're in an environment where everyone's being negative, being like the one person that's like brushing that off and choosing to be positive, that's like an active choice that is harder. So we're all working on these things, but if we can all just try and be mindful of them, I think it's important, and it goes a long way. And honestly, like, when you are feeling not good about the way someone's treating you or something like that, it just makes you feel worse. If you find the silver lining or add some positivity, have a good attitude in a bad situation or when dealing with a mean or difficult person, you're just gonna feel better. Like, just do it for yourself. Like, obviously it spreads good energy to them and the people and environment around you, but like, do it for yourself. And my last note is, don't be a just don't, like, if you know, like, and you buy like something, like maybe an outfit, and then you wear it and then you're like, I'm gonna return it. Like, obviously that's not great or like necessarily the right thing to do. Don't be like, one example is like, I guess a lot of this stuff honestly is being passive. It's like, if you see like a mess somewhere, like in a kitchen, don't be like, oh, well, I didn't make that mess. Just be the person that freaking cleans it up anyway. I don't know. I just feel like I've witnessed that situation so many times where someone's like, well, it's not my problem. It's like, okay, but just like make it nicer because you're here now. Anyways, I am young and delusional enough to think I can change the world because I'm young and delusional enough to think I can change the world because if one person hears this and feels inspired to do better and be better, then mission accomplished, right? I just want to have an impact on those around me and inspire them to do more positive things. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I just feel like when the world is chaotic, there's like small things that we can hold on to and still do in times of instability or hardship that remind us that we are human and we have some things in common, and maybe that's holding the door open for a stranger at your coffee shop, or maybe it's, you know, turning in the jacket or $5 that you saw on the street somewhere. Like, all of those things, like, it just reminds us that people do look out for each other, not all the time, but that we all have something in common and we all need each other. So I just wanted to say that. I think it's really important to remember in 2026. And yeah, on that note, it's funny because you guys are gonna see me in my next video and it's like light and fluffy and pop culture stuff, but it's like, I love the light, silly, fun videos. That's all fine and good. But so long as we can have like the deep talks too, I think that's what it's all about, right? Like, I don't know, I want to talk about the deep things and like the light, fluffy, silly things. I think it's all good, and it's all things that are part of life and make us who we are. So yeah, on that note, I'm gonna peace out. I just wanted to remind you guys to be good people and to hang on to our humanity in this landscape that we're living in. Anyways, have a great rest of your day. Bye guys, see you in my next video. Rip, what do I do? I'll move. Oh no, the car is leaving. Another car? I should start counting them. There are cars coming through. Rip. There's a saying that if you want to be part of a village, you have to